In the heart of the city, where shadows stretch long and secrets whisper on the wind, one detective stands alone. Animal Cmoves, the border collie with a mind sharper than any human's, followed a trail no one else could see. His world was one of logic, patterns, and cold, hard facts. He worked solo, trusted no one, and always got his man, or in this case, his mystery. Tonight's case was different. A strange energy signature pulsed through the city's veins, a frequency he'd never encountered. It was erratic, powerful. It hummed with an unnatural rhythm that set his teeth on edge. The trail was a complex puzzle of faint traces and ghost-like echoes, leading him away from the bustling main streets and into the labyrinthine network of back alleys where the city kept its darkest secrets. Each step was calculated, each sense. On high alert, he navigated the maze of forgotten pathways, the scent of rain-soaked concrete and distant sirens his only company. The pulsing energy grew stronger, a low thrum that vibrated through the soles of his paws. He was close, he could feel it. The signature was unlike anything in his extensive database of anomalies. It wasn't technological, nor was it purely organic. It was something else entirely, something that defied classification. He rounded a final corner, the scent of ozone thick in the air, and skidded to a halt. There, in a dead-end alley, was the source. Illuminated by the weak glow of a single street lamp, a powerful white Staffordshire Bull Terrier stood his ground. He was a statue of pure muscle and defiance, his gaze fixed on the shadows. But it wasn't the dog's formidable presence that made Animal Cmoves freeze. It was the soft, ethereal light emanating from his paws, the light pulsed in time with the energy signature, a gentle, rhythmic glow that cast dancing patterns on the damp brick walls. This was Sonny. His file was thin, mostly rumors and whispers on the street astray with a temper, a ghost who appeared and disappeared, but no file mentioned this, no report detailed pause that could hold starlight. Sonny turned his head, his dark eyes locking onto Animal Cmoves. There was no aggression in his stance, only a weary caution. He had clearly been dealing with something long before the detective arrived. The light in his paws flickered, a sign of fatigue. Animal Cmeves's mind raced, analyzing, calculating. This wasn't a suspect. This was a piece of the puzzle he never knew existed. The energy wasn't a crime. It was a defense. Before he could process this new data, a chilling sensation washed over the alley, colder than the night air. The atmosphere shifted in an instant. The distant city sounds faded into a muffled hum, replaced by a low, guttural growl that seemed to emanate from the very shadows themselves. A dark, viscous energy began to seep from the brickwork, like ink bleeding into water. It coiled and writhed, a formless entity of pure malevolence. The air grew heavy, pressing down on them, thick with a palpable sense of dread. The street lamp overhead flickered violently and then died, plunging the alley into near-total darkness. The only light now was the faltering glow from Sonny's paws. The shadowy mass surged forward, its formless tendrils lashing out. Animal Cmoves, the strategist, immediately went into tactical mode. His mind became a supercomputer, processing variables, calculating trajectories, and formulating a plan. He barked a sharp command, a series of quick, precise sounds that were more like coded signals than a simple bark. It meant left flank, create a diversion. I need to analyze its composition. But this was a language Sonny didn't understand. The staffy reacted on pure instinct. As a shadowy tendril shot towards him, Sonny slammed his glowing paws onto the ground. A wave of brilliant white light erupted outwards, colliding with the dark energy. The tendril recoiled with a shriek that was a scrape of metal on stone. The light was a weapon. Sonny was holding it back, but the effort was draining him. His light flickered, and the darkness pressed in again, stronger this time, sensing his weakness. Animal Cmoves saw it all in a split second, Sonny's raw power and his own strategic mind. Alone, they were doomed together. Together they might just have a chance. The darkness regrouped, larger and more menacing than before. It gathered its strength for a final, overwhelming assault. Sonny braced himself, his muscles trembling with exhaustion, the light from his paws now just a faint glimmer. He was out of time. Animal Cmoves knew his own physical abilities were no match for this entity. His strength was his intellect, his ability to see the connections others missed. He looked at Sonny, truly looked at him, past the rumors and the raw power. He saw a fighter, cornered and exhausted but unwilling to give up. In that moment of shared peril, their eyes locked. It was a communication that transcended words or barks, a spark of understanding, a silent agreement. Animal Cmoves saw the raw, untamed energy within Sonny. Sonny saw the intricate, crackling web of logic and electricity that powered the detective's brain. In that shared gaze, a connection was forged. Animal Cmoves focused his entire being, his neural pathways firing at an impossible speed. He didn't just analyze the dark energy. He analyzed Sonny's light, mapping its frequency, its wavelength, its potential. He then did something he had never done before. He opened his own mind, projecting his tactical plan not as a sound, but as a pure data stream, a current of thought aimed directly at Sonny. Sonny felt it a jolt of clarity, a blueprint of action overlaid on his instincts. He understood, as one, they moved. Sonny unleashed the last dregs of his power, not as a wave, but as a focused beam. At the exact same instant, Animal Cmoves channeled his own bioelectrical energy, a force he usually used to power his incredible mind, and directed it outwards. Their powers met, intertwined and merged. The soft white light and the sharp blue electricity coiled together, creating a spectacular, blinding surge of pure energy. The combined force hit the shadow entity head-on. There was a deafening roar as light and dark collided, and the alley was engulfed in a silent, brilliant flash. When the light faded, the alley was empty. The oppressive cold was gone, replaced by the familiar damp chill of the city night. The street lamp sputtered back to life, casting its weak, yellow glow on the scene. The dark energy had vanished, completely obliterated. Sprawled on the wet pavement, side by side, lay Animal, Cmoves, and Sonny. They were utterly depleted, every muscle aching, every ounce of their unique energies spent. Animal, same as his mind, usually. A whirlwind of activity was quiet and still. Sonny's paws were dark, the inner light extinguished for now. For a long moment they lay there, the only sound the rhythmic drip of water from a rusted pipe and their own ragged breaths. Sonny managed to lift his head, his gaze finding Animal Cmoves. He gave a small, tired tail wag. It was a gesture of gratitude, of respect. Animal Cmoves, the solitary detective who trusted no one, returned. The look in their shared vulnerability, in the quiet aftermath of a battle they could not have won alone, a new connection had been forged. It was a bond deeper than partnership, stronger than friendship. It was the unspoken promise of two different souls who had found their other half in the heart of the storm. The city was still full of secrets, and the darkness would surely gather again. But now it would not be met by a lone detective, it would be met by a team. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more adventures.